Hello, mate. Bloody hell.
Sorry, mate. Got to get some lighting involved.
Got the old
today.
camera light right in the eyes.
Bring it down a bit. Hot.
Very hot, that is. Wednesday.
It is.
I had the day off yesterday. Wedding anniversary. Wife's birthday.
Double whammy.
Went for a nice spa day.
Very nice.
Lovely jubbly. Followed by a kebab for dinner.
Beautiful. Sounds like a perfect day.
Absolutely, it is the perfect day. But now I'm back, mate, and I'm cracking on with another couple of Figaros.
Oh, yeah.
Endless, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we've got another pallet of 3 today, one of which actually we'd already done, but some clever person left the pallet out in the rain. This water's got in one of the boxes and slightly corroded a couple of the components, which we've had to redo.
Yeah.
Never mind. We've done quite a lot, haven't we, mate? It's never usually, we never usually have any mishaps.
Yeah, not normally.
So yeah, we've got that. We've done that one, and I've got another 2 to do. So these are going to be done for tomorrow. Get them out the door quick for them. Customer service at its best, isn't it?
Yep.
Usual routine with these, mate. First of all, empty the box.
Yep.
Clean it all in the wash as best we can, because they are fairly horrible, as you can see. Once they are all oil-free, it's into the vapor blaster. Give them a good vapor blast. Bore the blocks whilst you check the pumps and fit the pistons to the rods.
Yep.
Remove the old pistons so they're not circlip, are they?
No, you have to press them off and heat them up to get them on.
Exactly. John checks the cranks. Usually 9 times out of 10 it's a polish.
Yeah.
Don't normally do anything with the cranks. Every now and again we have to grind them. But as I say, not very often. And then it's face the block, which I'm doing up there, the first one. Hone them in the boxes. Job done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Quick turnaround. It's a nice little number, this one, isn't it, for the Figaro shop? So they go through engines like you wouldn't believe. Usually they send like 4 at a time on a pallet.
And they've said before they've got loads more waiting to come down.
Oh God, yeah, always, yeah. So we've done 2 in the last couple of weeks. Then we did another pallet of 4, which went yesterday when I was away.
Yeah.
And now we got this 2, I suppose. Nice little in-betweener job, isn't it?
Yeah.
What we call it. A little bit of an update, mate. But before we do the update, we'll just emphasise on a couple of the comments from the last video, mate, shall we?
Yeah, maybe.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
So you pointed it out because I, unfortunately, yesterday haven't had time to read through the comments, and you said to me, made me aware that there was a few negative comments on our video content of recent.
Well, yeah, a little bit. Just sort of a few people not happy with the lengthy conversation. They'd rather be seeing
like we're having now.
Well, yeah, they'd rather be seeing up close machining work, which, to be honest, we haven't done probably for about at least a year and a half.
Oh, really?
Well, we sort of moved away from doing that kind of stuff.
We haven't, and I suppose there is a lot more, well, not a lot more, but there's different avenues we could take with the content.
Yeah.
Although, I'm sure I've said this before, the problem we've got is, one, we ain't YouTubers.
No.
We're actually trying to run a business, and we just sort of started out doing a channel on the business and the contents of it, the running of the business and stuff like that. When we first started the channel, it was quite different in here, wasn't it? Yeah. We were doing a lot more sort of bread and butter, Edward in and out, a bit like this sort of stuff, really. Yeah. Never usually had more than 2 or 3 engines on the go at once, if that, a lot of the time. Dealing with a lot more garages, local garages and that. So in the last couple of years, or 3 years, it's changed quite drastically.
It has. Well, to be honest, I was going to say, half the reason we haven't done so much machining videos or up close stuff is because we haven't had the time recently. It's been a lot busier, a lot more, especially for you, a lot more organising and just constant things to do.
It's just constant, isn't it? Yeah. You know, we've got in there, you and I have most of the time got 7, 8 engines, sometimes 10 or 12 to organise as well as build and machine, etc. There's the parts to order, invoices to do and get money in. It's a lot of work. especially
Well,
for three guys.
On top of that, in the last year or two, we've got a lot more vigorous with our even stuff like cleaning. So that just takes up loads more time.
Oh God, doesn't it just?
Cleaning's just...
Yeah, so it's changed quite a lot, and we used to, as much as we love doing the videos for the entertainment purposes and I suppose the educational purposes for the viewer, like I say, we ain't YouTubers. We do use the channel predominantly for marketing.
Yeah, marketing.
You know, most of the work we get comes from it.
Yeah.
It's not just the revenue that the channel brings in, it's the extra turnover through the extra work that we get from the channel.
Yeah.
And not only that, but you are actually you're actually getting paid for marketing, whereas normally you'd have to pay a vast amount of money for websites and stuff like that. And
it isn't that we don't want to do the up close and, you know, doing things in more detail, filming whilst we're doing a job. It's it's the time, and especially for stuff like that, you've got to set a camera up, or you've got to have an idea, you've got to plan when you're going to do it. You know, it's sometimes we want to do something and then it just doesn't happen because you end up having to press on and get it done off camera.
This is the trouble. Yeah. So, you know, you and I have a chat now and again about the potential stuff that we would love to do and could do with the channel. It's just having the time, and it just haven't got the time. So, although a few people that comment don't like the way it is and sometimes would prefer something else, you can't make everyone happy. And we do take it on board.
Yeah, and we're trying to improve constantly, really.
Yeah, trying to improve, but you know, and also there's long periods of time where we've got a bunch of engines in bits. We're waiting on parts, we're waiting on go-ahead, we're waiting on payments for invoicing, and you get a bit of a content drought in a way, don't you?
You do, yeah.
You know.
Well, without showing the same thing over again, here's a head skim, here's a whatever. It's like...
Exactly.
Sort of run out of stuff to go on about.
Yeah, so as I say, guys, just keep putting your suggestions, make it productive criticism.
Yeah.
And we will we do read them all and take them on board, and we'll do the best we can to put out content that everyone wants to watch. But unfortunately, sometimes we can't. And I think everyone's in the same boat. No matter how many subscribers they got and how many views they get, you know, when you're pumping out 2 or 3 videos a week, it can become a little bit stagnant sometimes. But the beauty of YouTube, not that we want people to, but if you watch a channel or a video that you find a little bit stagnant or whatever, there's plenty of other things to watch, isn't there? Not that we want them to, but you know, that is the beauty of it. We're not the only channel on there. So we'll do our best and take it all on board.
Yep.
A little bit of an update on the progress here in the last day, mate. We have got paid for the parts for the RS3, so they are all on order. We have got the go-ahead and got paid for the parts on the Subaru. That's all on its way.
Perfect.
And we've got the go-ahead and paid for all the parts for the Transit.
As well as the... no, we haven't been paid for the Porsche, have we?
No, but the Porsche parts they're very minimal, to be honest with you. It's more labour intensive on the Porsche, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we've got the go-ahead on that anyway, but we're basically in the process of cleaning 4 engines worth of stuff.
Yeah.
Getting it all ready for parts and get as much done as we can before you go away in October, mate. Second week in October?
Yes.
Away for a couple of weeks.
2 weeks. Sorry, mate.
So you should be. I mean, how dare you have holiday?
Oh, bloody hell. I know.
Especially abroad. Don't know how some of you afford it, to be honest with you.
Barely.
On me knees here. Right, guys, before I go home today, you guys in the comments, like we've been talking about, wanted a little bit more wanted it to be a bit more techie on the channel. What I'm going to do is just run you through, not into too much depth, about the different crankshaft designs. The reason this has sort of crossed my mind is I've been standing here looking over at this crankshaft here, which is a 5-cylinder crankshaft out of the RS3 Audi 2.5 5-cylinder, guys. And I thought, do you know what? This would be quite a good opportunity to just run through 3 of the crankshaft designs. So this is a 5-cylinder crankshaft out of a straight 5. So they do sometimes like a narrow V5. They do a straight 5, which this is, which means, it's an inline 5, which means that all cylinders are in line. And you can see the design of that crankshaft there, guys, that you've got journals look very slightly different to the straight 4s. So the 4 cylinders, if we just find a crankshaft somewhere, so I'll just turn the lights on quickly and show you a flat plane 4-cylinder crank as opposed to a cross plane. So a flat plane would be one of these Figaros. So you've got an inline 4 and the plane, if you look down that plane there, the flat design means that the crank pins are like this on a flat plane. So you've got 2 pins opposed 180 degrees to the others in comparison to the mains. And that is a flat plane. So basically your firing order would be something like 1, 3, 4, 2, 1, 3, 4, 2. Then a cross plane crank, which you've probably heard of, more commonly used in the V8s, so like the V8 Rovers, would be, if you look down that plane there, it would be a cross. So it would mean that you would have 1 pin here, maybe 1 pin over here, then you would have 1 up here and 1 down there. So it would be apparent from looking down the plane that it would be like a cross. And that is a cross-plane crank, believe it or not. Quite simple, really. So I would say some of the pros would be, because it's a cross-plane on a V, the firing order can be sort of more frequent than a flat plane. Some of the disadvantages would be the weight. It's sometimes more difficult to balance, which would mean you would have to have more weight on the counter weight side of it, which would obviously make the thing more heavier, which means that you get less peak RPM from a cross-plane crank. Take, for example, a straight inline 4 cross-plane crank used on the Yamaha motorcycles. When they come out, actually, it's like 2009 or something like that, you would get that distinct sound, which sounded a bit like a V4 because of the firing pattern. But you get a lovely distinctive note. It made them more, because of the firing order, it made them more torquey, more sort of bottom-endy, but they didn't rev as much. They did sound distinctly like a V4, really. Advantages, disadvantages. Advantages with a flat plane crank, easier to balance, less weight, more RPM. Don't get as much bottom end or mid, but you do get the peak, which does create power. Then you've got these 5 cylinders, guys. So these are sort of known as this would just be known as a 5-cylinder inline crank, really. So the advantages of a 5-cylinder, we all know what the old Audi Quattros in the 80s used to sound like. Absolutely phenomenal. They almost sound a little bit like there's 2 engines going on at the same time. You get that sort of one note, and then you get like a little bit of an off note, which sounds like another engine, really, almost like a V. The reason for that is because each crank pin from here to here, it's 72 degrees different. So what that means is, rather than like an inline, it's overlapping on the firing order, and that's why it sounds almost like there's another engine. Advantages with that is a little bit like the cross plane. You're getting more frequent firing, which means more smoother power delivery. Obviously, another big benefit to these is you're getting more power than a 4-cylinder because there's actually 5 cylinders. So really, in effect, you're getting like another 25% power in a nice compact unit, which is really not much longer than a 4-cylinder, and certainly not as long as a 6-cylinder. So nice and compact. Another disadvantage, a bit like the cross plane, you have to run a little bit more weight because of you see, they're a bit awkward to balance. That's why, like here, you've got one sort of counterweight a lot smaller than the other one, and they tend to sort of vary. A lot of this sort of stuff would run a counterclockwise turn-in balance shaft to make it run a little bit more smoothly, but that obviously means more weight, potentially not as many revs and peak power, really, but just more efficient and more compact, really, for the capacity. So this is like a 2.5. That's just a brief run through 3 of the crank designs, guys. If you're wondering what they all mean: flat plane, cross plane, and inline 5. A bit more techie stuff like that to come on the channel, we hope, to keep you guys that have been having a little maybe a little constructive negative comment, keep you interested in the channel. But let us know what you think, guys, if there's any more designs you would like us to go on about or anything in particular on the techie side. Please do feel free to comment down below, and we shall take that on board, guys, and try and give you guys some more interesting content. But thank you very much for watching. Until probably another couple of days, have a great evening. Cheers, guys.